Hey, hi, hello everybody. Okay, for those who have notes, you guys can take out your nota dulu and go to page number 1. We'll go to the first page first, because I'll explain a bit about the nota dulu before we start the seminar. But anyone tak ada nota? Anyone doesn't have the notes? For those who haven't received the notes, you guys can actually go to TDC website to download the nota, to download the PDF. Okay, but if you have the nota, you can take out your nota. Okay, ready. 5, look. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so if you're done, you can look at page number 1. Page number 1 is actually, okay, they are not really nota. These are actually the tips or advice that TTC tutor give you guys when you guys are studying sejarah. So if you're not too sure how to study or what are the methods you can use when you study sejarah, you can like maybe refer. But remember, this is not a compulsory. It's not a compulsory thing to follow. Up to you. If you find it useful, you can follow. If you find it not really useful, you don't have to follow. Okay, then you can go to page number 6. Page number 6. This is what we are going to learn today. The Form 1, Chapter 1. Form 1, Chapter 1. But because this seminar only got 1.5 hours, so we'll only focus in the important part. We won't go through the whole chapter. If possible, I'll also go through some important part in chapter 2 as well. But it depends. Cannot guarantee. But if got time, then we'll do chapter 2. If no time, we'll focus on chapter 1. Okay? So, any question before we start? Ada apa-apa soalan? No. Okay. If no question, you can look at question number 3. Apakah rang masa yang dibagikan dalam sejarah? This question is asking you about rang masa. You can circle. You can circle rang masa. If you don't know what is rang masa, you can write at the side something like timeline. The timeline. Okay, because when historians when they are researching, when they are studying the sejarah, the time, sometimes they'll calculate the time using like 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, sometimes using an era. Okay, this is to simplify the process. Okay, for example, in sejarah, the historian who uses the dekat to measure the time. Measure the time. Dekat is what? 10 tahun. Sometimes it also uses abad. Abad means what? 100 years. Sometimes they use alaf. Alaf means 1,000 years. But sometimes they also uses zaman. Zaman, if you tak faham, you can write at the side. It means era. One era. Okay, zaman, they are not like dekat, they are not like abad. They doesn't have a hard muscle. Not like dekat. Dekat confirm is like 10 years. Alaf is 1,000 years. But zaman can be 100 years, can also be 1,000 years. It can also be 10,000 years. It can even be 1 million years. Zaman means an era. An era. Can faham? It doesn't have a fix. It doesn't have a fixed time for one era. It can be very short. It can be very, very long. Okay, but one of the most common zaman that the historian uses to measure the time in sejarah is these two. You can write number on it. One is sebelum Masehi. and the other one is Masehi. What are the differences there? You can do this. Sebelum Masehi actually means before Jesus was born. The era before Jesus was born. Okay. Then Masehi means the era after Jesus was born. Okay. So now one of the most common zaman that historian uses to measure our human history is Masehi and Sebelum Masehi. Sebelum Masehi means the time where Jesus was not born yet. Then Masehi is the time after Jesus was born. Can faham? Okay, but of course, in exam, you have to know how to explain in BMR. So if you don't know, you can also write at the bottom. Sebelum Masehi means zaman sebelum. Zaman sebelum. Zaman sebelum kelahiran Jesus. Jesus, how to say in BMR? Nabi Isa. Okay. Then for Masehi, Masehi means what? Masehi means the zaman after Jesus was born. Zaman selepas kelahiran Nabi. Okay. So any question for this part? The timeline, the time zone in history. The timeline in history. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if no, let's recap. Again, chapter 1, they're talking about sejarah. What is sejarah? Sejarah is actually the things that happened in the past. But the people who study sejarah, the historian, when they study sejarah, they would divide or they will calculate the timeline using certain method. For example, sometimes they'll measure a timeline or they'll calculate the timeline using 10 years. 10 years is called what? 10 years is called what? What date? No. The gut, correct. Very good. The gut. But sometimes they also calculate the peristiwa sejarah using 100 years. 100 years, 100 years, 100 years. 100 years is called what? Autocorrect. I see. Abad, correct. What about 1,000 years? 1,000 years, correct. Alaf. But sometimes historian will also uses another way to measure a peristiwa sejarah. They uses zaman. Zamana. But zaman, you must be careful. Zaman is not like abad, it's not like dekat, it's not like alaf. They don't have a hard muscle. They don't have a fixed period of time. So zaman can be 1,000 years, can be 5 years, can be 5,000 years, 5 million years, also can. Confirm? And the most common zaman that historian uses to measure our human sejarah is zaman what and zaman what. No matter Malaysia, no matter US, no matter Japan or even China, the most common zaman that they uses to measure our history is zaman apa? Sebelum Masehi and Masehi. Very good. Okay. So if you guys got no question, now you can go to the next page. The second part. The second most important part in chapter 1. The sumber sejarah. You can circle. Sumber sejarah. Okay, the thing is, a lot of people didn't know, they don't understand how historian or how human actually know about what happened in the past. Because these sejarawan, They're not like what you think. They actually doesn't have superpower. They are just normal people like us. They don't have superpower. They can't time travel. They don't know, like they actually doesn't know what happened in the past. But how do they find out? Actually, it's because of this thing, sumber sejarah. If you don't know what is sumber sejarah, you can write down and explain to yourself. Sumber sejarah are the things, the ancient things, the historical stuff that were left behind. That were left behind. This is how we know what happened in the past. This is how we know. Okay. Okay. Number 2. Then actually, sumber sejarah can be divided into 2 levels. You can also circle. Level 1 is called sumber primer. This is level 1. Okay. Level 2 is called sumber sekunder. But which one is better? The answer is sumber primer. Because sumber primer are the barang-barang, are the sejarah things that were original. That is original, it is untouched, belum diolah, untouched and belum ditafsir. That wasn't been found or wasn't been interpreted yet. No human has found it before. No human has studied these things before. It is an original. It is an unknown. Unknown punya sumber. Those are called sumber primer. The level 1 barang. The first tier barang. First tier barang. For example, like artifacts. Artifacts, if you tak faham, you can write about them. Artifact means the things that were made by human. The things that were made by human. It is not natural. It is not from nature. Like for example, your iPhone, after 500 years later, maybe 500 years later, the archaeologists, they found your iPhone. Then iPhone are considered as artifact because it is made by human. Okay, so artifact is considered as sumber primer. Fossil also, the fossil. Okay, like dinosaurs. How do we know there's dinosaur living in Earth long time ago? Because of fossil. Okay, because of fossil. Because human never lived together with dinosaur before. When dinosaurs still exist, there's no human. When dinosaur disappear or extinct already, only we have human. So we never live in the same era. We never live in the same timeline before. But we found the fossil. We found the fossil. That's why we know the existence of dinosaur. Okay. Number 3, batu bersurat are also considered as sumber primer, the tier 1 sumber sejarah. Okay, what is batu bersurat? You can write aside the tablet. The tablet that has writings on it. That has writings on it. Those are called batu bersurat. Batu bersurat. Long time ago, humans are not like the human today. You can write on paper. You can write on paper. We can write on nota. We can write it on computer. But in zaman dahulu, humans, they have no paper. They have no technology. So human will usually write it on batu, on a stone. Then the stone with those inscription, with those writings, we call them as batu bersurat. These batu are also considered as tier 1 sumber primer. Okay. Then document also, the document rasmi, and also your diary. Because your diary only got one. In this whole world, your diary only got one. You won't find any other diary or any other book that has the same content with you. So your diary is one and only, original. So if 1,000 years later, the historian found a diary, your diary also considered as the tier 1 sumber primer. Okay, so any question? Ada apa-apa soalan? No. Okay. If no, let's look at the level 2. Tier 2 sumber. The sumber sekunder. Sumber sekunder, they are known as level 2. Doesn't mean they are better. Primer is actually better. Primer is the best one, the most important sumber sejarah for human. It is very valuable. Sumber sekunder, not so valuable. Okay, even though they are known as level 2. Because sumber sekunder are the sumber sejarah that already been diolah. What is diolah? Do this again. Already been touched, already been changed. It is not original anymore. It is not original anymore. So you can write touch or change. Not original. They are no longer original. So the value is not that high compared to the sumber primer. Sumber primer is totally original, untouched. Let's say the barang, the things is like 300 years ago punya things. When we found it, if it's sumber primer, it means 300 years ago, this item looked exactly like now punya barang. Exactly the same, untouched, original. Those are called primer. But secunda, maybe the people who found it already written something on it, already like added something on it. That's why it's no longer original. Okay? And not only that, sumber secunda are also talking about the barang-barang that already been published. Diterbitkan. Diterbitkan, you can write aside, published. Already been published to the whole world. That means what? Everyone already knew about it. Or has it. Okay, they already, like everyone also got it, like buku, your buku text. Even though the content in your buku text are real. The buku text, your buku, sejarah buku text, even though the things inside are real, they are real. But the value compared to sumber primer punya value is much more lower. Because everyone already have it. It's not only one buku text sejarah. There is so many buku text sejarah. All the students in Form 1 also have one copy. So the value is much more lower. Okay, number 2, majalah also, magazine, akhbar, newspaper also. Risalah is what? Risalah is brochure, the flyers. Also considered as sumber sekunder. Okay, so any question? Ada apa-apa soalan? No. Okay, if no question, let's recap. Again, just now we have learned the timeline, the time zone in sejarah. Now we are learning how historians actually know what happened in the past. They rely on what? How do they know? How do they know? They have normal lifespan like us. They have no superpowers. They couldn't do time travel. How do they know it? Correct. Because of sumber sejarah. Very good. The things that were left behind. Very good. Very good. Okay. Number 2. But the things, these historical items these ancient punya things they are divided into 2 levels. What level and what level? Sumber what and sumber what? They have 2 levels. Correct. Primer dan sekunder. Which one is better? Which one has more value, has higher value? Correct. The primer. Can faham? Why primer is so valuable? Because if the item is sumber primer, tier 1, it means it is what? It is 100% asli, original, untouched. It looks exactly like how it looks like in the past. And not only that, Human has never seen it before. No human have seen it before. This is the first and only. Can paham? Okay. Then can you give me some contoh, some examples? What sumber sejarah are considered as tier 1, sumber primer? Artifact, correct. What else? Artifact is correct. Fossil, very good. Batu bersurat, document rasmi, yes, very good. One more. One more. Diary. Okay, I want to clarify first. Exam need to memorize all the contoh or not? Tak perlu. Right aside. Tell yourself, contoh, for example, what are the examples of sumber primer? You just have to baca and memorize 3. 3 is enough. 3 is enough. No need to memorize too many. Confirm? 3 to 4 is enough. No need too many. Okay? Don't have to memorize the whole thing. Just memorize the things that you understand. The things that you don't understand, you can ask me. Okay? Try to avoid the things that you don't understand. Because sooner or later you forget. Especially when you're nervous. When you enter the exam hall, the moment you step into the exam hall, the moment the exam starts, okay, you can't perform 100% one. Definitely, no one can perform on 100%. You can only perform on how many percent? 70%. You will forget 30% of the things that you memorize. Okay, okay, so 70% only. So better memorize all the things that you understand. That's why every time during class, I keep on telling you guys, focus on understanding. Understanding is much more important than everything. You don't have to focus on memorizing first. In class, focus on understanding. When you study, then only you memorize. Okay? Okay, number 2. Sumber sejarah. Sumber sejarah, just now, you guys told me there are 2 levels. One is sumber primer, one is sumber sekunder. Tell me, how only can consider as sumber sekunder? How only can consider? Like if it's original, then it's considered as sumber primer. Then for sumber sekunder, how will it look like? If it's a sumber sekunder, level 2, correct, it's touch, telah diolah. Someone already touched it, someone already changes, someone already added some things on it. It's not original. Can paham? Give me 2 contoh. Give me 2 contoh of sumber sekunder. What barang sejarah are considered as sekunder? Buku, even your nota, your nota, the nota you're using now is also sumber sekunder. Your majalah, correct. Okay. Okay. So after you're done, now you can look at the 3rd most important part in your chapter 1. Circle. Kaedah penyelidikan. Also the part that most students find it very difficult to memorize. The kaedah penyelidikan. What is kaedah penyelidikan? You can recite the method. The method the historian uses to research. Method to research or study sejarah. Okay, a lot of people actually didn't know about this. They are curious. They're curious. How did the historian study? How did the historian research about what happened in the past? There are actually 3 methods. There's only 3 methods. First method, okay, I want to explain first. First method, even though it seems like very easy, but actually it's quite difficult. It's not as easy as you imagine. It is quite difficult. First method is called kaedah bertulis, circle. Kaedah bertulis. What is kaedah bertulis? This method is a method that studies the things that happened in the past by using the maklumat that were dilakar dipahat and ditulis by the people in the past. What is dilaka? Right at the side. Sketch. Sketch. Dilaka means sketch. Then the drawing, remember in chapter 3? Remember what you guys learning in chapter 3? The Sakai, Zaman plus Sejarah human. Zaman plus Sejarah human, they don't have tulisan yet. So last time, the Sakai, they use drawing to communicate. They draw drawings on the wall to communicate with each other. Can faham? So kada petulis is a method to extract, to know what happened by studying their drawing or studying the things they written, ditulis or dipahat. Dipahat, you can write on the top, carve. They carve it on the wall, they carve it on a stone, carve. Carve, 雕刻, carve. Okay? So this is kada petulis. They go and read. They go and read and study the things that were written. But baca, okay, even though baca seems like very easy, you can baca, I also can baca, anyone also can baca, see you want to baca or not. But actually it's not like this. Because you must understand zaman dahulu punya human, their tulisan and now punya tulisan is totally different. Yes, we understand the words. We understand the words that we human are using now. We can understand alphabets. Some of us can even understand Mandarin, the bahasa Cina. Yes, we can understand. But you must understand, few thousand years ago, they don't use the same word that we use today. The words they were using are called ancient tulisan, ancient punya writings. So there's no way we can understand that. There's no way we can understand what they actually are writing. So the historian who uses this method, their job is to interpret what is the meaning, what are they writing, what are they talking about. Sometimes if they're lucky, they can understand or they can interpret the whole article, the whole thing very, very fast. Maybe 5 years, maybe 15 months, few months. But if they're unlucky, some very, very difficult punya writings, sometimes it took them more than 50 years. Okay, I'll give you one more facts. One more fun facts. There's one ancient writing until today, 2023, we humans still not able to interpret, not even one word. Even a know is the tulisan from tulisan from Tamadun Indus. Not a single one, not a single word. We don't understand. It looks like alien word. Boleh faham. Already many years, Tamadun Indus is a civilization. You can say it's a country. If you don't know what is a civilization, it's okay. You can imagine it as a country. This country exists about 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago. And when we human found out about their writings, about 200 to 300 years ago. 200 to 300 years ago, human already found their writings. Until today, no one able to solve it. Until today, not a single word. We don't know. We tak boleh faham. Cannot understand at all. Cannot understand at all. Very difficult. Very difficult. Okay. So some historian, you have to appreciate. You have to appreciate what you are reading in your textbook now. Or you have to appreciate all the information that we have now. Because sometimes some very little information, maybe like one small part only, it took away maybe a lifetime of a historian to able to interpret, to explain what actually happened. Have to appreciate. You can hit sejarah, but you have to learn how to appreciate their effort. If it wasn't them, we weren't able to know what happened in the past. Okay, let's continue. Okay, number 2. So how the process actually works, if you want to use kada petulis, okay, First step, if let's say one day you found a tablet or you found a book that was written by few hundred years ago punya human, what is the first step you need to do? Mengena pasti, underline. What is mengena pasti? Right at the side, identify. You have to identify or find out this article or this buku that you found is related to what? It's from what country? It's talking about the history of what country? It's talking about the history of a person, a country, or an era, or an incident. You have to find out first. You have to identify. Okay. The content of the content of the buku, you don't have to go details first, but at least you have to like have an idea. This book is talking about what? Have to identify first. After you identify already, second step, before you start to interpret or you started to translate, you have to mengesahkan. What is mengesahkan? Right at the side, verify. If not, later you spend like 10 years, 20 years, 50 years to interpret or to translate. Then at the end, you found out it's a prank. It's actually written by your friend or it's actually written by your brother. It's a prank. It's not what ancient book. It's actually a fake one. It's a book that is written by now punya people. It's a fake book. Confirm? Then you GG idea. You wasted all your time. That's why first you identify. Agak. Try to tell. This book is about what? About United Kingdom, about Malaysia, about Ice Age. At least you must have a clue. After you have a clue about what this book is about, then you have to go and verify whether these books are real or not. Is it really from 200 years ago? Is it like really left by the human from the past? Or it is made by human, now punya human? Once you verify and you found out this is 100% real, good job. You're very lucky. Very lucky. Because it's not easy to find this book. Very lucky. So the third step is you need to quickly menyimpan. Okay, some students tak faham. You haven't even studied what is the content. You haven't even find out what is writing inside. You keep what? What do you mean like menyimpan? You haven't studied, you haven't interpret. You know nothing about the book. What do you mean you keep? Actually, this is not what they mean. Menyimpan means because this is a very, very valuable, very, very important things for humanity. I told you it's not easy to find this kind of book. It's very important for human. So that's why once you verify this is a real book from the past, you have to make a copy. You have to copy down. You can use whatever method you want. You can scan. Of course, not the normal photoset machine. They have a special tools. You have to scan. You can use your hand to copy everything, the content inside. You can even take picture. Take picture, not with normal phone. Because they takut with flashlight, it would damage the item. So they will use a special tools. Maybe take picture, scan the book, or maybe it's copy down. If it's very short, they copy down. If it's a book, most likely they'll scan or take picture. Okay. Then after you make a copy of the original book, what do? You keep the original book. Not you keep, you give it to the country. You give it to the country because this is very valuable, not only to our country, for the whole humanity. You can't keep it. We can't risk damaging the item. We can't risk to damage the book. Maybe later you're careless, you're drinking Milo, suddenly you pour your Milo on the book, GG. Or your dog, every time your teacher asks you, where is your homework, you always tell your teacher, your dog bite your homework, your dog eat your homework. Okay, so we have to be careful. Once you verify it's real, copy, make a copy, quickly send the original copy to the government. Government will protect it. Okay. So after that, what is the fourth step? Fourth step is menggunakan peralatan yang sesuai. After that, the historian will use suitable tools to do what? Last step, menganalisis, analyze the content. Analyze the content. Okay, this is where everything starts. Okay, so any question for first method? Ada apa-apa soalan? No. Okay, good. Okay, if no question, let's look at the easiest method. The method that me and you, daddy, mommy, gong gong, popo, everyone also can do it. The kaedah lisan. Help me to write aside. This is the easiest. Basically, you require nothing to use this method. Easiest method. This is the easiest. Okay, paling easy, paling mudah. Okay, ready? Require amount. Yeah, yeah, yes. Okay, see. So what is kaedah lisan? Kaedah lisan actually means the historian will study or to learn what happened in the past. True, melalui means true. True what leh? Temubal. Temubal, right aside. Temubal is what? Anyone know? Anyone know? Temubal. Wait, I need to erase first. What is temubal? Q&A bukan, very close. Very close. Very close. Really don't know? You guys always see one. I mean, you see in your daily life. Yes. Yes. Wow, someone spam me. Wait. Someone spam me. Oh, got student ask me question. Okay, yes, correct. In Chinese, it's called 访问. In English, it's called what? Right side, interview. Interviewer. You see in your daily life, in the news, your idol, your Blackpink, what pink, green pink, yellow pink, interviewer, basically interview. This is also one of the method Sejarah one will uses interview. Okay, but of course, this method you can't use it on anyone. You don't simply go and tangkap anyone, tangkap like random people from the street and interview him. You simply tangkap a Bangla and interview him and ask him question. No. There's some requirement for the orang sumber. Orang sumber, if you tak faham, right aside. Orang sumber is the people that you interview. We call them orang sumber, people you interview. Okay, there's some requirement, there's some condition to become orang sumber. Number one, the people who experience the event, the historical event. Let's say you are an historian. You are a historian. You want to know what happened in World War II. So you want to use kaedah lisan to find out all. So you have to interview siapa? People who experience the World War. People who are in the World War. Can faham? First-handedly. Okay? These people they can become orang sumber. Or if you are not involved, with the incident, they can also be the people memerhati. What is memerhati? Pemerhatian. You are aside, observe, saw what happened. The people who witness, yes, they are not involved, but they are the witnesses. They witness what happened. They saw how it happened. Can faham? So you can write witness. Okay, so these are the two criteria. The two criteria to become orang sumber. You can't just randomly get random people, some random people who join your interview. Okay, they must fulfill these two criteria. If they couldn't, they cannot. They cannot. Okay, number two. So after we know what is kaedah lisan, then we have to know how they actually do it. First step, you have to do persediaan. Persediaan you can aside preparation. You have to do preparation. Then just I told you this is the easiest method. You don't need anything. Then what do you mean by prepare? I need to prepare what? Yes, even though you don't need anything, but you still have to prepare. And what? You have to prepare your tokoh. You have to decide. Menentukan tokoh you can decide. You have to decide the people who you want to interview, where to get him, where to find the person. Remember, you can't just interview random people. You can't just interview random people. You have to find the orang sumber. Okay, so you have to get the orang sumber. After you found it, you also need to prepare for what? Perkara yang ditemu. The things that you want to ask them. The things that you want to ask. Can faham? You can't freestyle. Then when the interview start, then you didn't prepare. So you just freestyle. Then simply think of a question. You must be professional. Okay? Because this is a very, very precious chance to able to interview what involved or witnesses how the incident happened. Okay, how the historical event happened. Okay, then after you're done, after you finish preparing, okay, congrats. Now you can move on to step 2, the interview. But remember, when you interview, oh my God, wait. I thought I forgot to record again. I wanted to say, just now my Mandarin class also like that. Then I want to tell you, this is like what happened just now. In Sejarah, if you use kada lisan, you have to record. You have to record. Even if you have done the interview without the record, it means that you have not done it. They don't care. They don't care whether if you have really done it. No rakaman means you never done it. You never do it before. It's not real. It's fake. It's made up. Confirm? Just like what happened to my Mandarin class, I forgot to record. So basically, it doesn't happen. TEC will see me as like, I didn't teach a class. Confirm? I didn't record, even though I've taught for 1.5 hours. So remember, when you interview, don't forget to record. If not, you waste all your effort. Okay, the next one, tahap ketiga, memproses rakaman. After you finish your interview, hooray! But then you still got things to do. Haven't end yet. Tahap ketiga is memproses rakaman. You have to process the video. You have to process the interview. How? First, menyalin, make a copy. Make a copy to ensure like no accident will happen and destroy your records or destroy your videos. So you have to make a copy for backup purpose. Okay. Then after that, you also need to edit. But again, the edit is not like your Instagram punya story. What boomerang effect, what shiny effect, what add love, not those kind of edit. What do they mean edit is they will cut off or they will cut out those unimportant punya part. Confirm? The not so important part, then they'll cut out. They'll try to edit the video to like simplify the video. Okay. And the last one, the most important one, menilai fakta. What is menilai fakta? Evaluate. They have to evaluate, make sure the things that were told is real. They have to make sure the orang sumber is telling you the truth. They have to make sure the orang sumber is telling you the truth. You must make sure it is real. If not, GG. Okay. Sometimes it's not the orang sumber who want to lie to you. Sometimes it's not. Because no matter what, we are just human. Even though they have no intention to lie to you, but we are humans. They might make mistake. Maybe they couldn't remember very clearly. Maybe they remember wrongly. Or maybe they exaggerate a bit. He was telling the truth, but he exaggerated some of the part. Like maybe there's only like 10 people. You say, wow, Lawa, I remember that they got few millions of people. So you have to evaluate. To make sure the thing that he tell us is 100% correct. Okay. So any question about kaedah lisan? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if no question, let's recap. Ready? Number 1. We all know historian they do not have superpower and they couldn't do time travel. So the only thing to help them to know what happened in the past is through sumber sejarah. But can you tell me how the historian study the sumber sejarah? How do they research or how do they study a historical event? What method do they have? Method number 1. Method number 1. Got what cara leh? Got what method leh? Got what method? Very good. First method is kaedah bertulis. Kaedah bertulis seems like very easy because they basically go and read or go and study the things that were written by the people in the past. Okay. The most challenging part is just to understand the content, understand what they are writing. Okay, but it's not easy. Seems like very easy, but it's very difficult. Number 2, second method. If I don't want to use kaedah bertulis, what other method I can use? Which is also the easiest method. Paling easy. You and me also can do it. Correct. Kaedah lisan, aka interview. 访问. Okay. So if you guys got no question, now you guys can go to the next page. This is the hardest method. This is the hardest method, the toughest method. This method requires not only time, luck, manpower, technology, resources, money, anything that you can think of. It is super difficult. And the success rate is not 100%. It's not even 100%. It's not like, oh, you see, kaedah lisan, if you ask question, if you interview someone, you confirm will get something. Confirm will get something after the interview ended. Kaedah bertulis also, after you study the writings or the things that written by the people in the past, at the end, confirm you get something. Archaeology, not like that. Archaeology is not like that. Okay, you can maybe like do archaeology for 10 years, 50 years. What happened at the end is you might get nothing. You might get totally nothing. This is kaedah archaeology, the hardest method. Not anyone can do it. Not anyone can do it. Okay, ready? Okay, so what is kaedah archaeology? Kaedah archaeology is basically humans or the historian try to find out what happened, try to mencari maklumat daripada what? Underline yourself. Bahan tinggalan sejarah. Bahan tinggalan sejarah, you can write aside. The things that were left by the human. The things that were left by the human. The things that were left by the human. This method, I mean, how they cari this bahan tinggalan sejarah. This method is actually very bodoh, very slow, very ineffective. But no choice. This is the only way we can do it. This is the only method. Very bodoh, very slow, very inefficient. Okay, how? Melalui gali cari, circle, gali cari. If you don't know what is gali cari, do this at the side. Dig, 挖掘, digging. Digging the ground, digging the soil to find it. Confirm? Now you can understand why kaedah archaeology is very difficult. Because even if you dig out, sometimes you find something, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you found it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you find a lot, sometimes totally nothing. Okay, sometimes it's not like you're on the wrong area. Maybe the things is right be below. Maybe the things is right beneath the ground. It is there, but maybe you have to dig deep enough in order to get it. That's why it's very time consuming. Some people use up their whole life just to dig up one area only. Just like how we found pyramid. When pyramid first found out, we not like the pyramid now you see like you can see the whole building, the whole pyramid, the whole triangle thing But you know, when historians first found the pyramid, it is actually covered by sand. We can only see the tip top only. Everything is sand. We can't see anything. Can find? We only see the tip top of the building Can find? Then again, have to keep on digging. The more they dig, the more they realize wow, this building actually is super gigantic. Okay, this is how Kada archaeology works. That's why very difficult. Okay, so any question? Ada apa-apa soalan? No, okay, if no, let's look at the process, how it works. Number one. Okay, if you want to use Kada archaeology, they are divided into two parts. I told you this is very time consuming, it's very difficult, it is very complicated as well. Part A, the process gali cari when you're digging up. Before the historian or the archaeologists dig up, first thing they need to do is perancangan grid, underline. What is perancangan grid? They have to divide, they have to separate the area into boxes. To this. A lot of people don't know what is perancangan grid. They will split or separate the places into boxes. Satu box like that. Okay. And not only that, okay, if you don't know, okay, if you still tak boleh faham, I want you guys to draw out. Don't be shy, draw out. Because in sejarah, if you don't understand anything, if you don't understand something, you have to make sure you explain to yourself until you really understand. Okay, just ask me. Okay, what do they mean by split them into boxes? It's like this. Let's say they want to dig this area, they want to gali cari this area. So they will draw lines like this. They'll draw lines like this before they start digging. This is called perancangan grid. And every setiap peta, you can underline right on the top, box. Every single box diberikan nombor rujukan. Every single box will be given number. Contohnya, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, something like that. Confirm? They will divide them and give number, put number on every single boxes up. Okay? Then after they finish, not yet, you can't start digging yet. Cannot start digging yet. Second step, menandakan kawasan. What is menandakan kawasan? You have to mark the whole area. You have to mark down the whole area. Because when they do excavation, when they do the digging that time, they not only do one small area only, they'll dig the whole area. But let's say they'll start from here. So they mark down, okay, now 27th of May, we'll start digging area 1, or this is called area A. You start digging the area A first. After they finish, they'll mark down again. Area A, done. Found nothing. Then they'll proceed to area B. Confirm? Then they repeat the process. Okay. So after they have marked out, finally they can start excavation. They can start digging up. Okay. But remember, every single thing, semua penemuan mesti dicatatkan. You must record every single findings. Small, big, medium size, anything, have to record. In which box you have found the item, how deep you have found the item, or how many meters, and when, also need to record. and who found it also need to record. And when they record the time, they also have to take picture before they can take out the item. Because they takut when they take out the item, the timer, they will accidentally break the item up. So at least they have picture to tell, oh, the original item look like this. This is how they actually looks like. Okay, in case something happen. Okay, then after they finish digging, not yet finished. Part 2, part B. After they finish digging, they'll bring all the things that they found to the magma archaeology. What is magma archaeology? Right at the side, the lab. They'll bring it to the science lab. They'll bring it to the lab and let those scientists, historians to study the item. Okay, once they bring the items to the lab, first thing first, they'll do pemunggahan. Pemunggahan means they'll put down all the things first. They put down all the things first. After that, do pengisihan. Pengisihan means they'll separate them or arrange them following their journeys. If let's say this is a weapon, they'll put into the weapon category, the weapon part. If this is maybe a book or an inscription, about writings, then they'll put into the book area. Or if let's say this is normal tools, then they'll put it into the normal tools part. Or if let's say this is fossil bones, then they'll put at the bone part. Confirm? They will categorize them. They'll categorize them up. Okay. So after they finish putting down all the items, and after pengisihan, okay, next step, pembersihan. You have to clean it because it has been covered with soil for many years already. So in order to study the item, to see the item more accurately, more clearly, they have to clean it. Not like washing your plates. They use special chemicals. Special chemicals and special tools to clean it with care, because it is very fragile. If you are not careful, clang, 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 the things will spoil. The things will break up. So they have to be very careful. This step is especially important. Okay. Then after they clean it, then there was some scientists or the lab punya people who do pencatalogan. What is pencatalogan? They will record down every single item again, just in case someone stolen the item. They'll record, and what? After they record, they'll give nombor pengenalan. They'll give an identity number, identification number, like IC. Just like an IC, they'll give a number or a code name for every single item. For example, if they found maybe a bone, they found a bone, a dinosaur bone, a dinosaur fossil, then they'll give a code name or an IC to this bone, maybe called G1367B. Every single item will also have its own IC. Okay. After they finish, only they can do the penganalisisan, aka analyze. Only they can start analyzing. Okay. So any question? Ada apa-apa soalan? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if no question, one last recap before we jump into the latihan. Ready? Number 1. Chapter 1, we are learning about what is sejarah, what is history. So first part, not first part. Okay, the first part, what am I talking about? So in chapter 1, one of the things that we have learned is about their rang masa, their timeline and their time zone. You remember, in order for historian to research and to study the historical event much more easily, sometimes how will they measure the time? Using how many years? Sometimes how many years? they'll count the tahun by using, very good, dekat. Dekat is how many years? 10 years. Very good. 10 tahun. Sometimes they also count the time using abad. Abad is how many years? 100 tahun. Very good. Sometimes they also count the time using 1,000 years. 1,000 years is called alaf. Very good. Okay. But sometimes it also uses another way to measure the time of that historical event. And this measuring unit has no limitation on how many years. Not like dekat confirm is 10 years. Abad is confirmed 100 years. But this one, no limitation. It is called zaman. Very good. Good job. Okay. This is the first part that we have learned. Second part. Just now, we also learned why historians were able to know what happened in the past. Even though they have no powers, they have no superpowers, they can't time travel. It uses what? They uses what? To know what happened. Very good. They uses sumber sejarah. Sumber sejarah, the historical items. The sejarah punya things. But the sejarah punya things, they are divided into two levels. Level 1 is called what? Sumber primer. This is the most valuable one. Level 2, sumber sekunder. Very good. Okay. But can you tell me which kind of sejarah item are considered as sumber primer? What ciri they need to have? They must be what? Untouched. Very good. Belum diolah. Belum diolah, untouched. And after that, no one has interpreted, no one has studied about these things before. Belum ditafsir, or wasn't been published before. Very good. Diterbitkan. And not only that, it must be asli, original. It must be original. Okay. Number 2. Number two is sumber sekunder. What about sumber sekunder? If sumber primer is belum diolah, belum ditafsir, then sumber primer, sumber sekunder lah, telah. Very good. You just changes the word. It is opposite only. Sumber sekunder are the things that already diolah, already ditafsir, or diterbitkan. They are no longer original. Okay, very good. Good job. And the third part that we have learned now is how they do it, how they study, what happened in the past. Kaedah penyelidikan. How many methods are there for historian to learn about sejarah? How many methods? 3. First method, the easiest one. Tell me the easiest one. Me and you also can do it. Kaedah lisan. Very good. Tell me the toughest one, hardest. Time, money, resources, luck, everything. The kaedah archaeology. Very good. And the third one seems like very easy, but not really. Kaedah bertulis. Very good. Good job. Good job. Okay. So this is what we have learned. Basically, if you can master these 3 parts in your exam, you will be fine. You will be fine. Okay. Of course, I want to clarify again. Just by studying this part doesn't mean you are finished up. You just have to read through the rest of the part. These 3 parts must hafal, must memorize. But the other part in chapter 1, you still have to read through and understand. Can faham? And of course, memorize as well. Can faham? But you can put 80% of your energy in these three parts. These three parts, very important. Hot topic. Hot topic. Okay? Okay, then if no question, let's try some latihan before we end the class. Because we don't have much time left. We don't have much time left. But wait. Don't. Jangan lihat. Okay. You guys can go to page number 13. Go to page number 13. I'll give you guys some time to try it. Try question number 1. A, B, and C. I'll give you guys 6 minutes. Now it's 39, 45. We'll discuss. Try. Jangan takut salah. I know some of you will say, "Ayah, I don't know how to write. I don't know how to answer." Try. Try. If got anything tak faham, just tanya saya. Okay, try. Never try, never know. Never try, never know. Salah pun tak apa. I mean, you want to salah now, or you rather salah during the exam? Because it's now. So try, must try. What is bandingkan? Bandingkan means compare. Compare. 比较. Compare. Okay, start now. Go. Anything you want me to explain? Anything you want to ask me? Tanya saya. Okay, go. Five more minutes. If you want to go toilet now, if you want to grab something to eat, also can go up, because it's already like 1 hour. Sitting in front of the computer, you can stretch a bit. Do some stretching also can. It's been 1 hour. Okay. What is cadangkan? Cadangkan means suggest. Suggest. Just relax. Even though it's a seminar, yeah, at the end it's just a class. So as long as you gain something, no need to be so hard on yourself. La. 4 more minutes. Cadangkan means suggest. Suggestion. Okay, if anyone wants to know, memelihara and memelihara is like protect the sumber sejarah. Three more minutes. Three more minutes. Then after the class, if you guys got any question, you can also cari saya. If I have the time, I can also record the video. If there's any part you guys want me to explain, you guys want me to teach, if I have the time, I can record a video. La 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 la. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Oh my God, wow, wait, it's an insult or it's a compliment? Wow, 1 more minute, 1 more minute, 1 more minute. But last time, during my high school, I got joined singing competition one. Last time, during high school. Yeah. La la la. Got win or not? Let's focus on your latihan. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. La la. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. La 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 la. Okay, time's up. Ready? First question. Bandingkan kedua-dua jenis sumber sejarah tersebut. Okay, they want you to compare these 2 sumber sejarah. But before you start to do, you have to ask yourself first, this is a newspaper. Newspaper is considered as tier 1 or tier 2 sumber. Tier 1 or tier 2, correct, tier 2. So this is sumber sekunder. This is a sumber sekunder. And this is a artifact. It's an item that made by the human in the past. Obviously, it's an artifact. So artifact is sumber primer. Very good. So now you can understand what the question is asking. They want you to compare sumber sekunder and sumber primer. So how to answer? Ready? You can check your answer. No need to erase your answer. No need to erase your answer. If your answer is wrong, you can use other color punya pen. You can use other blah 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 to write it at the bottom. Okay, maybe your answer is correct, just that the way you written it out, maybe it's different now. So no need to liquid your answers, or no need to cross away your answers first. Later, you see first. Okay, then you can copy at the bottom. Okay, so first answer is sumber sejarah A, because they want you to compare. So you have to start from something first. You can start from A, you want to start from B, also can. So sumber sejarah A ialah sumber sekunder. A is a sumber sekunder. Okay, after you tell them A is sumber sekunder, you have to explain what is sumber sekunder. So you can write sumber sekunder ialah sumber sejarah yang telah Why is newspaper considered as tier 2? Why newspaper is considered as sekunder? Because very good. Yang telah diolah, because it's already been touched. Diolah, ditafsirkan, it's already been interpreted, and it's, oh my God, Kanye, what? Kanye West? Who is Kanye? Ditafsir dan diterbitkan. Diterbitkan. Okay, autocorrect to Kanye. Oh, I see. Diterbitkan. It's already been published. That's why it cannot be sumber primer anymore. Even though the content, no matter how real, how accurate the content is, doesn't matter. if it's already been published, many people has it. Sorry, it has no value. It is considered as sumber sekunder, tier 2 sumber sejarah. Okay, but on the other hand, B, sumber sejarah B ialah what? Ialah sumber primer. Ialah sumber primer. Okay. And what is sumber primer? It's the opposite. Sumber primer ialah sumber sejarah yang belum diolah. Just copy and paste, but you change the word telah to belum. Belum diolah, ditafsirkan, dan diterbitkan. Correct. This is how you answer question number 1. When they ask you to bandingkan, no worries. They are not asking you to explain to them in your own words. There's no need to. In sejarah, usually they will just ask you the things that you have learned. So you just explain everything that you know. Them can already. But in exam, bandingkan means they want you to explain what is A and what is B. A is sumber sekunder, so you explain what is sumber sekunder. B is sumber primer, so you explain what is sumber primer. That's it. That's it. Okay. Sumber they are. My points are going to get each other. Yeah, you get lesser points. I get lesser points. 4 marks means you need to have 4 answers. Okay, I teach you. In exam, first thing you need to know is understand the question. Of course, you have to understand the question first. Once you understand the question, second thing you need to do is look at the mark. So you need, so you know how many answers you have to give. Like 4 marks, that means you need to have 4 answers. Okay, and when you're writing the answers, remember, no point form. Do not do point form. Try to separate your answers. 1 answer, 1 sentence. 1 answer, 1 sentence. Okay. Of course, it's not 100%. It's not a format, but this is for you. This is for you to get used to, like, or prepare yourself for SPM. Because SPM is better to separate the answers into sentences. So when they mark, when the marker mark your paper that time, it'll be easier for them. It'll be easier for them, and it'll be easier for yourself as well. Upper form. Now it's too soon for you guys, but you can try to make it as a habit. Okay. So any question for A? Ada apa soalan? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 2. Berikan 2 sumber sejarah lain yang bersama jenis dengan A. Again, A is newspaper. Newspaper is sumber primer or sumber sekunder. A is sumber sekunder. So they want you to give 2 other sumber sekunder, 2 other examples. Okay, so got what left? Buku dan majalah. Very good. Good job. That means you understand. Good job. Buku dan majalah. Very good. Okay. Number 3. Usually, another thing you guys have to take note. In exam, usually the last question, C, donkey, or blah, 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 the last question is usually K-bar. Is usually K-bar. What is the difference between K-bar and normal question? Normal question, you can use the answers, or you can find the answers from your nota, from your syllabus. But K-bar question, you have to think of your own answers. You cannot find the answers in your note. You have to think of your own answers. Like this question, what they want you to think, they want you to give suggestion, cadangan, on how to memelihara our sumber sejarah. We know human able to know what happened in the past is because of the sumber sejarah. We know how important it is. So how can we protect the sumber sejarah? How can we protect this sumber sejarah? How? Apa macam? How leh? Put in somewhere safe. Correct. Do you know where the government keep all the sumber sejarah? You know where they keep the historical items? Correct. Museum. Very good. Okay. So one of the answer that you can write is menyimpan menyimpan sumber sejarah. Keep the sumber sejarah di where? The museum negara. Okay. What else? What else? How to protect our sumber sejarah so that our sumber sejarah will not get destroyed or will not be broken, will not be damaged by other people. How? How? Okay, you see, sumber sejarah actually sometimes it's not only the items. You know, some of the buildings that were built by the people long time ago, the people from many years ago, those are also considered as sumber sejarah. If smaller size punya things, yes, we can keep it in the museum, but can you keep a building in a museum? Impossible. It's impossible to keep a building inside a museum. So what happened to these places? You can kawasan bersejarah. These historical places kawasan bersejarah diwatakan, declare or label, diwatakan sebagai khazanah negara. These places or buildings can be labeled as the treasure of our country. And what does it mean? If this building becomes the treasure of Malaysia, if someone tried to damage or try to destroy the buildings, what will happen to him? He will gonna punish. Okay? So that's why this is one of the way to protect them, get fined. Correct. Okay? Mengenakan hukuman kepada sesiapa yang merosakkan sumber. Very good. Kan? Okay? Good answer. Mengenakan hukuman sesiapa yang merosakkan sumber sejarah negara kita. Good job. Okay, we can also punish them because sometimes even there's rules. Some people just don't follow the rules. They like to PPAP. So if you want to PPAP, okay, government PPAP with you as well. How government PPAP with you? You try to break the undang-undang. You break the undang-undang, then the government will come and punish you. Okay, so this is one of the methods to prevent people from damaging or spoiling or destroying the things. Okay, and last one is because of lack of awareness. So sometimes Sometimes it's not the people like purposely like didn't protect, purposely like want to damage the things up. They accidentally, because they have no knowledge, they doesn't know how important it is. They don't know how difficult or how precious these things are for humans. Not only our country, it's for the whole humanity. They don't know how to appreciate it. So in order to prevent things like this to happen, we can do what? Campaign. You can write out. Mengadakan campaign untuk meningkatkan kesedaran. Mengadakan campaign untuk meningkatkan kesedaran terhadap kepentingan sumber sejarah. Just like when COVID-19, when COVID-19 break out the time, a lot of people underestimated. They don't know how dangerous COVID-19 is. Some old people, some uncle, auntie, they still think that COVID-19 is a joke. They don't wear masks, they don't follow the SOP, they don't do social distancing. So we have to teach them, we have to educate them, we have to inform them, let them know how dangerous COVID-19 is. So same thing, some people just doesn't know how important the sumber sejarah is for humanity. We have to tell them, we have to let them know. But telling them one by one is too slow. So do campaign. Do campaign. Okay? So any question? Ada apa-apa soalan? Any question? Any question? Okay, if no, congrats. We have done chapter 1 and we have done 1 question. But there's many questions. There are like 3 questions or 4 questions behind. Before your exam, you can practice the latihan. All the answers can be found on the TTC website. If you need help, if you have question, if you want me to explain certain part, you can cari saya. Okay? See you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. Good luck in exam. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Welcome. Bye-bye. Welcome. Bye. Boy.